Cabin fever. Maybe movies. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, as long as you're over 18. Because we're not for children.
No, not for the children. Go away, child. Stop watching.
It's that's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Maybe Movies, where we are here to improv our way through the interweb.
Indeed we are.
Yes. Thank you, as always, for joining us again. We are a mostly movie-based channel, doing fun things with the films that you love.
Indeedy-didely do.
If you've been with us so far, then you'll know that the movies that we are playing with this month are Leon and No Country for Old Men. On Wednesday, we had a look at Act 1 of our new vision of No Country for Old Men, which has been renamed No Country for Professionals. And we are now going to look at the monster that is going to be Act 2. I'm wondering then if we need to possibly backtrack. I mean, we'll see how we go, but I think maybe we might need to backtrack to where you'd originally suggested when he wakes up in the hospital. I know we called it a bit later, but that's like almost an hour from where we left it.
Well, it's about 40 minutes.
Where we called Act 1 was 35 minutes in.
Yeah.
But it's an hour and 20. Yeah, I don't know, it's probably about right.
It's about 40 minutes an act.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the thing is the third act kind of ends and then ends and then ends.
Yes.
And that's the thing that makes it longer than the average third act. But that's for later.
We'll stick to the original plan.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
All right, I don't want to know. I don't.
Act 2.
Yes, Act 2. Before we do, as always, quick shout out. This is for one of our oldest friends and supporters. This is for Team Goodman, who's a couple from, I think they're from that sort of Chicago area.
Oh, cool.
They do lots of sort of family-based stuff. They have kind of branched out into doing some kind of like a sort of ambient relaxation music, that kind of thing.
Of course, I remember now. Yes,
but they're a lovely couple sharing their lives on YouTube, and always stop by, always say hi and things like that. And as I said, they've been following us pretty much since we started. So, thank you guys as always. Thanks for stopping by. So I saw that you popped in recently, and I'll be around as soon as I can.
Thank you.
We have popcorn. We have movies.
Right, yes, we have movies. Okay, yes. This movie has really long scenes and sequences in it. So we're going to get to a bunch of stuff happening on rails.
Yeah, because we get...
getting paranoid.
We start to see more of Leon, but even it's not all of the time, as you say, because it does cut back and forth. Because
although I do think he has more scenes here than he did in the first act.
From what I managed to rewatch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 I've got, and that's up to...
Whereas we had 4 before. So.
Yeah, that's up... I mean, I managed to rewatch it up to when they went and hitchhikes after the Mexicans get killed in the motel room. So again, the phone call bit with Leon is going to be the same, where he's going through the numbers.
Oh, right, yes, of course, yes. And then we get the conversation about the lab report, the Sheriff Bell avoiding talking to the DEA guys.
Shopping trip, first shopping trip to that store, followed by the taxi back to...
Oh, right, no, sorry, I was ahead of that.
We can alter then, there's that tiny scene where Anton drives over the bridge and shoots the bird. Mm-hmm. Maybe he should just drive over and stop and just wind down and just watch it.
I think it's one of those things, again, I was watching this earlier for more insight, and I think that was meant to be, like, because Shigura's an avatar of death, but the Crow is an avatar of death as well. So him taking a pot shot at death. So yeah. I don't know exactly what was being said there, but I felt it wasn't just any bird, it was either a crow or a raven. Those are harbingers of death. So there was something being said. So even the harbinger of death was defying death, I suppose. I don't know. But yes, Leon would not.
No. Again, I'm almost half tempted to say that he gets out of the car and he pours some milk into the lid of the milk bottle or something and leaves it on there for the bird. I don't know. That might be too much. The bird's probably going to fly off. But he just stops and watches it until the bird flies away.
Yeah, I like that better. I mean, I know what you mean, but that feels like we're sort of...
Labouring
I feel like we're stretching credulity a little bit.
Yeah. Gun shop, another room.
And then, again, we have the next morning, it's the two policemen talking about the lab report.
Mm-hmm.
And then Llewellyn gets a new room, and that's when we start to get Leon back again, tracking
when the transponder picks up
the transponder.
Yeah.
And that initial interaction with the Mexicans. This is the biggest combat scene that we've had so far. Now, we can't do Leon's usual tricks of doing things like hanging from the ceiling in a single-story motel. We should make this scene an opportunity to show off his actual skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, because Anton's cold-blooded and methodical, whereas Leon is precise. Thank you, sir.
I didn't know whether to do something like he does something to set the alarm if there is an alarm on the Mexicans' pickup. So one of them sticks their head out the door, and he stood right behind the door and just bang, pushes him in, uses the body as a shield. The guy jumps up on the back, brrr,
Oh, yeah.
bang, and then you've got the guy hidden in the shower. I think the only thing we possibly need to do with this scene, because again, as far as I remember in the original, it doesn't make it clear that the Mexicans have a transponder themselves.
No, it doesn't, but Anton does say, how did you find out?
But the guy never says anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose that is putting two and two together, isn't it? Yeah.
The subtext in this movie is buried much deeper than the casual film.
Although
it does not hold your hand.
No. But I do think we have to keep the...
It's kind of a cool moment.
It is. Which is obviously at the same time we've got Llewellyn next door, retrieving the bag,
Yeah.
and then getting hitchhiking.
Hightailing it out of there, yeah.
That's as far as I watched. So again, everything else so far is the same. I suppose the only difference here again will be Leon's going to clean the bodies up and leave no trace that he was ever there.
And we see it as a montage of him doing all that sort of stuff? Or?
We can cut it into the scenes of Llewellyn with the hitchhiker, or with the driver who's picked him up.
And then we have the scene with Carson talking about Shigure.
So when we first meet Carson, back with the guy in charge, didn't we? Yeah.
Oh, what, the guy who pays Carson to find him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Again, he's one of those guys. I love him. He's a great actor.
Stephen Root.
Sorry?
Stephen Root is his name.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know you're talking about. He's in everything.
He's an incredibly bold actor. He's played such a great range of stuff.
Yeah. He's played normal people, psychopaths, weirdos, and whatever.
Yeah.
Great range.
Comedy sidekicks and gay vampires. He's done it all.
He's in Dodgeball.
Was he in Dodgeball?
Of course he is. Holy shit! I've got that movie and I
Who
forgot.
was he in Dodgeball?
He's the unconfident one with his wife being a piece of shit to him, and he gets his.
Oh
he gets his
yeah,
rage.
of course he is. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I'm
been
sorry.
quite a
I
few
know
years since I
it's not
watched
from
that.
idea, but that deserves it because I would never have one. Have one. Take
Thank
it.
you.
Just for knowing shit.
Yeah.
Stephen Root, man, brilliant actor.
Yes.
He's great. I love him.
In fact, here's to Stephen Root.
Oh yeah. I'll drink to that.
To Stephen Root.
Stephen Root.
You're a good man. That's all going to go on rails. And then we get Llewellyn arriving at Eagle Pass.
If we want to, then if we're going to kind of again throw in play up this thing about Leon being a cleaner, we can cut in some of those scenes of him hitchhiking with just Leon out in the desert digging some shallow graves to bury the Mexicans in.
Yeah. Wait. Wasn't Bell supposed to find those bodies at some point? Or did they not find those ones?
They never mention. I don't.
No, you're
recall
right. They
them.
didn't. They didn't.
No.
I'm getting
They
confused.
don't mention it, do they?
No.
So,
But-
If they do mention it, it's that whatever is the local sheriff's department. They made to say, "Oh yeah, they found these guys."
right, so
He gets rid of the bodies, but isn't able to get rid of their pickup. So they find the pickup, which they think is connected to the cartel, and that's how they still know that something's happened. I don't know, but I suppose that Jeeps, the pickup's going to be pretty much nondescript, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but I think at this point Bell's not meant to know anything. It's just the way the story goes.
Yeah,
He's still hanging out on a branch.
yeah. Because then isn't the next bit is Llewellyn gets his other room, finds the transponder, which is when Anton catches up with him.
With the tracker, yes, which
Yeah.
of course is Leon catching up with the tracker because he's got it.
Are we going to say this is going to go the same way?
I mean, I don't know. This is potentially our first hunt point because Leon has the drop on him. He manages to find the transponder, but too late to stop him from finding the location. So one way or another, he's going to get the information that Moss is in room X.
See, I was trying to think, can we do something different with this in that obviously he knows, once he figures out what room he's in, but no, that doesn't make any sense. I was going to suggest that, finds out which room he's in, and basically gets him from across the street.
Well, this is what I'm wondering. Would Leon take another route? I mean...
That's what I'm thinking. But then I was thinking, well, no, he needs to get the money, so he's not going to go all the way across the street, kill him, to come all the way back into the hotel to come and get the bag. That's not logical.
Well, then, in that case, even though Leon's weaponry and MO is going to be slightly different, I think the scene's going to play the same way. Llewellyn's going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Jump out the window. Leon's going to take pot shots at him. At this point, it's debatable whether Leon or Anton are a better shot at that range in the dark. Leon's probably a better shot.
Well, like I say, it's debatable, but nevertheless, it feels like the scene's going to end in a very similar fashion. They're going to end up both wounded.
Okay.
I wonder if Leon would kill the car driver. I wonder if Leon would shoot out his own tires instead and force Llewellyn to run.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that idea.
Yeah, he just generally, he doesn't tend to kill people he doesn't have to.
No, actual targets he treats them as, but they're not.
If somebody's coming for him, then it's different.
Yeah.
But this guy isn't.
Well, just think that then.
Okay. But I think, despite some little wrinkles and changes, it's going to end up being roughly the end of the same. End up the same way, sorry.
So Llewellyn walks away, runs away.
Yeah, with a bullet inside him.
And it cuts back to forth of them getting the bullet out and treating the wound. And
yeah.
Maybe, Llewellyn's is the same, but
Leon
Leon's
rubbing milk into the wound.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to happen. It's not.
Which leads us to Llewellyn walking to the border, training for the shirt, and
which will all go the same.
Stashing the bag over the fence.
Yeah.
He wakes up in Mexico with the mariachi. This is when Anton raids the pharmacy by setting the car on fire.
See, again, I think we might lose that because I would imagine that Leon would bring that stuff with him. I can imagine that's in his kit in case anything goes wrong.
Oh, to the...
He'd probably have a suture kit and those kind of things that he can clean. He can tidy himself up so he doesn't have to.
So to get rid of the paint entirely?
I don't think we need it. I can imagine, as I said, I think Leon's professional enough that he will have a suture kit and everything that he needs.
If you think about the counterpoint between Llewellyn, just shredding himself and going until he's bleeding out and collapsed on the steps of a Mexican church.
Mm-hmm.
And then Leon being this stoic man who's just cleaning the wounds and doing everything that he has to do. I kind of think maybe it's an alternative. Well, Leon's a connected man. Maybe he would know to see
who's in the mob in that area
to get some supplies to fix himself up, but we'd still have the scene of him being stoic, because I think there's a point to that counterpoint between the two of them. They both stoically deal with their wounds, but they do it in entirely different ways.
Yeah, and it's also a nice point of reminding the audience of what Llewellyn is up against by taking this course of action. Yeah.
So is it still going to be at the pharmacy then?
No, I think we won't get the pharmacy scene. We'll get him contacting the local mob, and
unless if we wanted to keep the pharmacy scene in there, he goes into the pharmacy, goes up to the pharmacist. I'm a friend of Tony's. The pharmacy is a mob front.
Ooh,
Gold Star.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a nice touch, and it gives us a tiny opportunity to give that a tiny little bit of backstory to Leon and to his origins and stuff.
There is the potential here. I mean, because Leon isn't Anton. Act 3 is going to be when we get into the conversation with them on the phone. How are we going to feel about, or how do you think Leon's going to feel about knowing that he's got a wife and all this kind of thing? Obviously, he's not going to threaten his wife, which is what Anton would do.
Well, we are getting ahead of ourselves, but that was obvious to me. I mean, this is one of the few humps I was talking about, is one of the things. I think we've got one a little bit sooner than that, though. It's our last scene with Anton.
With Carson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Leon wants the money, right?
It depends on what he's been told to do. I mean, obviously, clean up the mess.
Leon's never really been that interested in money anyway, though.
No, he's not.
No, but what I mean is from Leon's point of view, Carson's not a complication. He's just another player. So this is a hump. Why wouldn't Leon take the money and walk away? Cast your votes, folks. Cast your votes.
But say the money is the mission, though. He has to go and retrieve the money.
But that's what I mean. Carson's already figured out where the money is. He literally says, I can have it for you in 20 minutes.
Yes, because he's found it, because he spotted it.
He spotted it on the embankment. So he literally knows where the money is. He can offer it to Leon. Unless Leon's explicit contract is no witnesses. I'm not saying that this scene with Carson wouldn't go the same, but that would explain why Leon would still keep going after Llewellyn.
Okay,
No
so what about...
witnesses, yeah.
So what about... that's going to make things even worse. Again, this is going to be pure invention on my part. What about if Carson survives, he gets the money, but is intending on giving it to the Mexicans?
Yeah, that's certainly something we can discuss in the third act.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying right now is, why wouldn't he get Carson to get the money for him? Unless we have Carson lie to Leon that he doesn't know where the money is?
Yeah, yes, that would work. I know where Llewellyn is.
I know where Llewellyn is, and
So
he
he'll
knows where
send
the money
Leon off
is.
that way, he can go and grab the money and give it to the Mexicans. For example. Because it means he gets Leon out of his hair.
One of the things I noticed is that Anton straight away knows who Carson Wells is. This isn't Shigur, who's got his random set of morality. This is Leon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the guy is offering to step out of the game. I think the only question I'm saying here is, why would he not kill Carson? Well, why would he kill Carson if we want him to kill Carson?
There isn't any reason for him to kill Carson under our new setup, which is he gives him Llewellyn's location.
Yeah.
Because he knows while Leon's going to go and take care of Llewellyn,
But then Llewellyn calls... Oh, it's still...
Oh yeah, he calls at the end of the scene.
Well, no, that's fine. We just have Carson leave. Oh no, because they're in Carson's room.
And Carson,
It's in
surely
Carson's. It's Carson's room in the Eagle Pass Hotel. Yeah.
Then we simply change the location that Carson is going to. No, because he doesn't know where Leon's staying.
Leon needs to kill Carson one way or another, basically.
You think he does?
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's have Carson do the deal. I don't know where the money is, but I know where Llewellyn is.
He just doesn't trust
And then
him.
the phone rings, and of course he knows it's Llewellyn.
Yeah. Can he not just be that he just doesn't trust him? He just kills him. They know each other from a different past. Maybe.
Or it could simply be, well, you know what's going on. No witnesses.
And maybe there's just a bit of Leon that doesn't like Carson.
I'm being obtuse, because of course his mantra is no women, no children.
Mm-hmm.
Carson's neither.
Personally, if there is a way that we can keep Carson in it for a bit longer and take things off in a slightly different route, I'd be quite happy for that. But if we're saying that there's...
I'm a man who's always happy with more Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
the man is awesome.
Yeah, leaping ahead a bit more into Act 3, in trying to keep that shootout in place, having Woody Harrelson there with the Mexicans. Again, who knows how it's going to go. It might even end up like a three-way battle, or possibly Leon
it creates a layer.
Yeah.
It creates a layer, like a fucking onion. Yes.
And an ogre.
Yes, like an ogre. It adds something to the movie that wasn't there before. I like that.
You can still have the phone conversation.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Just with Carson in the room listening. He puts him on the phone to him. But that's the beginning of Act 3, isn't it?
Mm.
So we agreed we're gonna keep Carson alive. They have the conversation,
So Carson no die.
Okay.
and that's where we will leave it on that bombshell.
Dun dun dun.
Just extreme far away.
Small, far away.
So he's going to survive in this one, not going to shoot. They're going to sit down, gun pointed at him.
Yeah, you can have
Just not.
Yeah. And then the phone goes, and that's where we'll leave it. That's where we'll leave it with the phone ringing.
End of Act 2.
Fantastic. Well done, boys.
Yay, folks, we did it.
We certainly did, which means we get a bit of a respite so we can have a break over the weekend and mull in preparation for Act 3, which will be coming your way on Wednesday. So, from us, well, for me at least, anyway, as always, have a wonderful weekend. Have a brilliant start to next week. We will see you on Wednesday, and in the words of the immortal Chris Smith, bye-zy daisy.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Bye!
Ba 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 ba.